For this lesson, dividing decimals with up to 2 decimal places, let us first try to understand the rule. To divide a decimal number by a whole number, place the decimal point of your quotient directly above the decimal point of your dividend, or the number inside your division symbol. And then, after that, you perform the long division. If the divisor is a decimal, write it as a whole number by moving its decimal point to the right. Then, move the decimal point of the dividend the same number of places that you move in your divisor. And then after that, you perform the long division. In order for you to understand or to better understand this process, let us have an example. Divide 2.4 by 6. Take note that the first number here is your dividend, which is your 2.4, while the second number is your divisor, which is the number 6. For the step 1, it says here, place the decimal point of your quotient directly above the decimal point of your dividend. So as you can see here, the dividend is 2.4, and then at the top, which is the place where you write your quotient or the answer for the division, you just have to align the decimal point on your dividend. So if you will write it, it must be like this. After placing the decimal point in your quotient part, you can now proceed to step 2. You can now perform the long division. So it's as if you are just dividing a whole number. Use zeros as a placeholders if there is a missing number or if there are empty spaces in your decimal number. So 24 divided by 6 is 4. 4 times 6 is 24. 24 minus 24, that is 0. So therefore, the answer for 2.4 divided by 6 is 0.4. Next, let's have this given example. Find the quotient when 35.4 is divided by 10. Take note that whenever you divide a decimal number by the power of 10, such as 10, 100, 1000, and so on and so forth, there is a simple and easy way to divide the dividend if your divisor is a multiple or a power of 10. Simply move the decimal point of your dividend to the left by the same number of zeros that is in your divisor. If the divisor is 10, move one space to the left. If your divisor is 100, move 2 steps to the left. If your divisor is 1000, move 3 steps or 3 places going to your left. It may be necessary to add zeros to provide the required places. So for instance, our given problem here is divide 35.24 by 10. Since we only have 1 0 here, all we have to do is move the decimal point one space, so one space going to the left. So before it is 35.24, now it is 3.524. So the answer, if you divide 35.24 by 10, it will now become 3.524. What if we will divide 35.24 by 100? Since 100 has 2 zeros, all you have to do is move the decimal point of 35.24 2 times going to the left. So that is 1, 2. And then you put your decimal point here and then put a 0 on your whole number part. So the answer, if you divide 35.24 by 100, is 0.3524. So that is how you simply divide a decimal number if the divisor is in the power of 10, which is the 10, 100, or 1000. What if your divisor is like this, 0.1, 0.01, or 0.001? Same as with the power of 10, but this time you just move the decimal point of your dividend to the right by the same number of decimal places in the divisor. Again, it may be necessary to add zeros as your placeholders. So 287.37 divided by 0.01, since there are two decimal places in 0.01, you move the decimal point of 287.37 two times going to the right. So it will become 1, 2. So the decimal point now will be located at the last part of your given number. So the answer now for 287.37 divided by 0.01 is 28,737. What if our divisor has a decimal point as well? Take note of the following rules. First is you have to move the decimal point to the right until the divisor is a whole number. Then, move the decimal point of your dividend as well to the right by the same number of places that you move in your divisor. So, in here, in 8.48 divided by 1.6, our divisor is 1.6. So, we move this decimal point to the right one time or one space only. So, from 1.6, it will now become 16. Since we move one space going to the right in your divisor, we also have to move the decimal point of your dividend going to the right one space as well. So from 8.48, it will now become 84.8. Now, place the decimal point of your quotient directly above the decimal point, just like what we did a while ago, of your dividend, and then perform the long division. So it will now become, your equation will now become like this: 84.8 divided by 16. So 84 divided by 16 is 5. 5 times 16 is 80. 84 minus 80 is 4. And then we have to bring down 8. 48 divided by 16 is 3. 3 times 16 is 48. 48 minus 48 is 0. Therefore, the answer for this equation is 5.3. For the next part, find the quotient when 34.5 is divided by 100. Just like what I've said a while ago, if your divisor is in the power of 10, just move the decimal point to the left according to the number of zeros. So if your divisor is 100 and there are two zeros in 100, just move the decimal point two times going to the left. So it will become 1, 2. So this is where you will put your decimal point, and then put a 0 on the on your whole number part. The final answer now is 0.345. So you don't have to do the long division process. Next, how about this one? Find 73.28 divided by 0.1. Again, if your divisor is 0.1, 0.01 or 0.001, just count the number of decimal places. In this case, there is only one decimal place, so we move this decimal point in your dividend one time going to the right. So from 73.28, it will now become 732.8. Next, let us find the quotient of 48.6 divided by 2.7. Again, this time, our divisor has a decimal point. So make sure that we change this divisor first into a whole number. How do we change this? Just move the decimal point to your right until it will become a whole number. From 2.7, it will now become 27. If you move a decimal point in your divisor, take note that you have to move also a decimal point in your dividend. So if we move one place to the right in your divisor, we also have to move one space or one place to the right in your dividend. So from 48.6, it will now become 486. We can now divide these two given numbers. So 486 or 486 divided by 27. Next, 27 divided by 48 divided by 27 is, the answer is 1. 1 times 27 is 27, and then subtract 8 minus 7 is 1, 4 minus 2 is 2, and then bring down 6. 216 divided by 27 is 8. 8 times 27 is 216. Subtract 216 minus 216 is 0. For the last one, let us have problem solving. The total amount of 25 centavo coins in a piggy bank is 35 pesos and 50 centavos. How many 25 centavo coins are there in the piggy bank? Take note that in a number form, 25 centavos or centavo coin is 0.25. If we want to know how many 25 centavo coins does 35 pesos and 50 cents has, we just have to divide the two. So 35.50 divided by 0.25. Again, our divisor has a decimal point, so we move at least 2 spaces so that it will become a whole number. So from 0.25, it will become 25. Since we move 2 spaces to the right in your divisor, we have to move also 2 spaces to the right in your dividend. So from 35.50, it will now become 3,550. We can now divide these two given numbers. So 3,550 divided by 25. 35 divided by 25, that is 1. 1 times 25 is 25. This is 0, this is 1, and then this is 5. 105 divided by 25 is 4. 4 times 25 is 100. 5 minus 0 is 5. 0, 0, bring down 0. 50 divided by 25 is 2. 2 times 25 is 50. 50 minus 50 is 0. Therefore, there are 142 25 centavo coins in 35 pesos and 50 centavos.